There is a simple idea that can quietly change the way you see your life, your desires, and your future. Most people are always looking ahead. They keep saying, "It will happen someday. It is coming. I just need to wait a little longer." And without even realizing it, they place everything they want somewhere far away. It always feels just out of reach. It always feels like something that is not here yet. But what if the problem is not your desire? What if the problem is where you are placing it in time? This method is not about trying harder. It is not about forcing belief. It is about a gentle shift. A simple, almost quiet change in how you think about your desire. Instead of seeing it in the future, you begin to feel it as something that already happened, not long ago, just yesterday. Think about the feeling of yesterday. It does not feel far. It does not feel impossible. It feels natural. It feels settled. You do not question what happened yesterday. You accept it. You move on from it with a sense of calm. There is no pressure in it. There is no struggle in it. Now imagine placing your desire there, in that same space. Instead of saying, "I hope this happens," you softly begin to feel, "This already happened yesterday." You are not trying to convince yourself. You are simply allowing your mind to rest in a place where it already feels done. And when something feels done, your mind stops chasing it. It stops doubting it. It stops creating distance. This is where everything begins to shift, because your mind does not truly understand time the way you think it does. It understands feelings. It understands what feels real, what feels complete, and what feels certain. And when you give it that feeling, it begins to accept it as your reality. So instead of waiting for your life to change somewhere ahead of you, you gently bring it closer. You placed it yesterday. And in doing that, you remove the distance, the waiting, and the struggle. And what you will start to notice is this: when you no longer feel like you are waiting, something inside you becomes calm. Something inside you becomes sure. And that quiet certainty is where real change begins. Most people do not realize this, but waiting is one of the biggest reasons they feel stuck. It feels normal to say, "It will happen soon," or "My time is coming." It sounds hopeful, but deep inside, it carries a quiet message: not yet. And when your mind keeps hearing "not yet," it continues to live in a space where your desire is missing. Every time you think about your dream as something in the future, you create a small gap between you and it. And that gap does not stay small. It grows with every thought of waiting, every moment of doubt, every time you look at your life and feel like it has not arrived yet. Without noticing, you train your mind to believe that what you want is always ahead of you, never here. This is why even when people try to stay positive, they still feel restless. They keep checking, is it here yet? Is something changing? When will it finally happen? And this checking keeps the feeling of lack alive. It keeps reminding you that it is still not here. So even if you say the right words, your feeling says something else. Waiting also creates pressure. It makes you feel like time is running, like something needs to happen soon. And when there is pressure, the mind becomes tense. It starts to doubt more. It starts to question everything. What if it never happens? What if I am doing something wrong? These thoughts do not come because your desire is impossible. They come because you are constantly placing it outside of your present moment. The truth is simple. As long as something feels like it is coming, it will always feel like it is not here. And as long as it feels like it is not here, your mind will continue to search for it, chase it, and wonder about it. This is the quiet trap of waiting. It looks like hope on the surface, but underneath, it keeps you in the same place. And this is why shifting your desire out of the future is so powerful. The moment you stop waiting, even just a little, something changes inside you. The distance starts to close. The pressure begins to soften. And instead of chasing your desire, you begin to feel closer to it, calmer about it, almost like it is already a part of your life. That is where the real shift begins. Time feels very real to us. We look at clocks, calendars, days passing, and we believe everything follows a fixed path. We think something must take time, must arrive later, must happen step by step. But when it comes to your mind, time does not work in the same way. Your mind does not measure life in hours or days. It responds to what you feel. Think about a memory from your past, something that happened a long time ago. The moment you remember it, you can feel it again. The emotion comes back, almost as if it is happening now. Your body reacts, your thoughts shift, and for a few seconds, it feels real again. This shows something very important. Your mind does not separate past and present the way you think it does. It simply follows feeling. In the same way, when you imagine something deeply and naturally, your mind begins to respond to it. Not because it is physically happening, but because it feels real to you. If the feeling is strong and calm, your mind accepts it more easily. If the feeling is forced or full of doubt, your mind resists it. This is why emotions matter more than time. You can say, "It will happen next month," but if your feeling is uncertain, your mind holds on to that uncertainty. But if you gently feel that something is already done, your mind begins to relax into that idea. It stops questioning as much. It stops pushing it away. Time, in this sense, becomes flexible. It is not just about when something will happen. It is about how real it feels to you right now. When something feels distant, it stays distant. When something feels close and natural, your mind brings it closer into your experience. So instead of focusing on how long it will take, you begin to focus on how it feels. You shift your attention from the calendar to your inner state. And when your inner state changes, your experience starts to change with it. This is the quiet understanding your mind follows feeling, not time. And when you learn to guide that feeling gently, you begin to move beyond the limits you once believed were fixed. Now let's understand what this method really means in a simple and clear way. Assuming it happened yesterday, is not about pretending in a forced way. It is not about lying to yourself or trying to believe something you cannot accept. It is a gentle shift, a soft way of placing your desire into a time that feels natural and easy for your mind. Think about how you feel about something that happened yesterday. You do not chase it. You do not question it again and again. You do not feel desperate about it. It already happened, so your mind is calm about it. There is a quiet sense of completion. It is done, and because it is done, there is nothing to force. This is exactly the feeling you are bringing to your desire. Instead of thinking, I hope this comes, or I am trying to make this happen, you slowly begin to feel, this already happened yesterday. You do not need to add pressure to it. You do not need to repeat it with tension. You just allow the idea to sit in your mind the same way any normal memory would. You can even notice how natural this feels when you do it gently. When you say yesterday, your mind does not push back as much. It does not argue. It does not ask for proof. It simply accepts that yesterday is something that already passed. And because of that, your desire begins to feel less like a wish and more like a quiet fact. This is not about creating excitement or forcing strong emotions. It is about creating a calm knowing, a soft, steady feeling that says, it already happened. And when that feeling becomes natural, something important changes inside you. The need to chase starts to fade. The urge to check starts to slow down. You are no longer trying to reach your desire. You are simply remembering it. And this is where the power of this method begins to grow. Because when your mind starts treating your desire like something that already happened, it stops placing it far away from you. It stops creating distance. It begins to accept it as part of your reality. So keep it simple. Keep it gentle. Do not force it. Just allow yourself to feel, even for a few moments, that what you wanted already became real yesterday. There is a reason why using the feeling of yesterday works so naturally. And it is something very simple. When you try to feel that something is happening right now, your mind often feels pressure. It starts asking questions. Is it really here? Where is it? Why can't I see it yet? And this creates tension. It makes the moment feel heavy, almost like you are trying to force reality to change instantly. But yesterday felt completely different. Yesterday was already complete. It is already settled. You do not try to prove what happened yesterday. You do not look for signs to confirm it again and again. There is no urgency in it. There is no pressure to make it real, because it already feels like it is real. It has already passed, and because of that, your mind relaxes around it. This is why your mind accepts yesterday more easily than now. It feels softer. It feels believable. It feels like something that does not need effort. And when something feels easy to accept, your mind stops resisting it. Think about it this way. If you say, I am trying to make this happen now, your mind may quietly disagree. It may bring up doubts. It may remind you of your current situation. But if you say, this already happened yesterday, Your mind has less reason to argue. It feels like a memory, not a task. And this changes everything. Because the moment your mind stops arguing, it becomes calm. The moment it becomes calm, your feelings begin to settle. And when your feelings settle, you are no longer pushing your desire away with tension or doubt. Instead, you begin to carry a quiet sense of certainty. Not loud, not forced, just a soft knowing in the background. And that soft knowing is much more powerful than trying hard or repeating something with effort. So this method is not about intensity. It is about ease. It is about choosing a time that your mind already trusts and placing your desire there without pressure. And when you do that, you will notice something gentle but powerful. Your desire no longer feels far. It no longer feels like something you are waiting for. It begins to feel like something that is already a part of your story. Now something very important begins to happen when you truly feel that it already happened yesterday. Your emotions start to change in a quiet but powerful way. The pressure you once felt begins to fade. The need to rush, to check, to make something happen, it slowly starts to disappear. When you believe something is still coming, your body stays alert. It stays in a state of waiting. There is always a small tension inside you, even if you do not notice it. But when you shift into the feeling that is already done, your body receives a different message. It begins to relax. It begins to settle. This is the emotional shift that collapses time. You are no longer standing here, looking ahead, hoping for something to arrive. You are standing in a place where it already arrived. And because of that, there is nothing left to chase. There is nothing left to prove. There is only a calm sense of it being done. And this calm feeling is very powerful. When your emotions are calm, your thoughts become softer. Doubt loses its strength. Fear begins to fade. You are not constantly asking, when will it happen? Because in your inner world, it already did. This removes resistance in a very natural way. You are not fighting your mind anymore. You are not forcing belief. You are simply allowing a peaceful feeling to exist. This is why this method works so deeply. It does not rely on effort. It relies on alignment. When your thoughts and feelings match the idea that it is already done, your whole state begins to shift. You start to feel more grounded, more steady, more at ease. And from this place, your actions also begin to change without force. You may speak differently. You may think differently. You may carry yourself with a quiet confidence that was not there before. Not because you are trying to act confident, but because something inside you already feels complete. So do not look for big, dramatic changes. Notice the small ones, the softer breath, the calmer thoughts, the reduced need to check or worry. These are signs that your inner state is shifting. And when your inner state shifts like this, time no longer feels like a long distance between you and your desire. It begins to collapse gently, naturally, bringing your experience closer to what you already feel inside. Now let's make this simple so you can actually use it in your daily life without confusion or effort. You do not need a special time. You do not need a perfect mood, and you do not need to sit for hours. This method works best when it feels natural, like a quiet thought you return to again and again. Start by thinking about one desire. Keep it simple. Do not overload your mind with too many things at once. Just bring one thing into your awareness. Then gently tell yourself, "This already happened yesterday." Say it in a calm way, not like you are trying to force it, but like you are remembering something that already took place. Now pause for a moment and notice how that feels. You are not trying to see every detail. You are not trying to create a perfect image. You are simply allowing a soft feeling to rise, a feeling of relief, a feeling of calm, a feeling that it is already done. Let that feeling sit in your body, even if it is just for a few seconds. You can do this at any time during the day, when you wake up, when you are walking, when your mind is quiet, or even when you notice yourself starting to worry. Instead of following the worry, you gently return to the thought, "It already happened yesterday," and then you let your body relax into that idea. Do not repeat it too fast or too many times. This is not about repetition with pressure. It is about returning to a feeling. Even one calm, clear moment is enough. Over time, these small moments begin to build a new pattern in your mind. Also, allow yourself to move on with your day. Do not stay stuck in trying to feel it perfectly. Think it, feel it softly, and then continue living. This is important because when you move on naturally, it shows your mind that there is nothing to chase anymore. If doubt comes, do not fight it. Just notice it and gently return to your idea again. It already happened yesterday. No tension, no frustration, just a quiet shift back to calm. This is how you practice this method. Simple, soft, and steady. And the more you do it in this relaxed way, the more natural it becomes. Until one day, that feeling of "it is already done" stays with you without effort. There are a few simple mistakes that can quietly slow this process down, and the good news is they are very easy to avoid once you become aware of them. The first mistake is trying too hard. When you push yourself to feel something strongly, or when you keep repeating the idea again and again with effort, it creates tension. And tension sends the opposite message to your mind. It tells your mind that it is not done yet, that you are still trying to make it happen. Another common mistake is constantly checking for results. You might look at your life and ask, "Has it happened yet? Is anything changing?" This may feel normal, but it brings your focus back to what is missing. It reminds your mind that you are still waiting. And the moment you start checking, you move away from the feeling that it already happened. Overthinking is another trap. Trying to figure out how it will happen, when it will happen, or what steps need to come next can pull you out of the calm state you are building. This method is not about controlling every detail. It is about allowing a simple feeling to exist without needing to explain it. Some people also try to force belief. They keep telling themselves something they do not feel ready to accept, and this creates inner resistance. Instead of forcing, it is better to keep it soft. Let it feel like a gentle idea, not a strict rule you must follow perfectly. And one more thing to remember: do not treat this like a task you must complete perfectly. There is no perfect way to do this. There is only a natural way. The more relaxed you are, the easier it becomes. The more you try to control it, the more complicated it feels. So keep it light, keep it simple. Do not push, do not chase, and do not overthink. Just return to the feeling when you can and allow it to settle in its own time. When you remove these small mistakes, something beautiful happens. The process becomes easier, your mind becomes calmer, and the feeling of it is already done begins to stay with you without effort. Now this is where everything becomes even more natural. When you start to feel that it already happened yesterday, you slowly begin to become a different version of yourself. Not in a forced way, not by trying to act differently, but from a quiet shift inside you. Think about how you would feel if your desire truly happened yesterday. You would not be anxious about it. You would not be chasing it. You would not be wondering if it will come. There would be a calm confidence in you, a quiet sense that it is already part of your life. This is the version of you that you begin to live as. You do not need to change everything you do. You simply carry that feeling with you as you move through your day. The way you think becomes softer. The way you speak becomes more certain. Even your energy feels different, more relaxed, more steady, more at ease. You may notice that you stop reacting the same way to things that once made you worry. You may feel less need to explain yourself, less need to prove anything. This is because deep inside, something already feels complete. And when something feels complete, you do not look outside for constant confirmation. This is not about pretending to be someone else. It is about allowing yourself to be the version of you who already received what you wanted. That version of you is not stressed about it. That version of you is not waiting. That version of you is simply living. So as you go through your day, gently remind yourself, it already happened yesterday. And then just continue with your life. Let your actions come naturally from that feeling. Let your thoughts flow from that calm place. You do not need to force any behavior. You do not need to act perfect. Just allow yourself to feel a little more at ease, a little more certain, a little more settled. And over time, this becomes your new normal. You begin to live from a place where your desire is not something you are trying to reach, but something you already carry within you. And now, just take a slow breath and notice how you feel at this moment. There is nothing you need to chase anymore, nothing you need to force. What you were looking for is no longer somewhere far away. It is already a part of your story. It already happened yesterday. And because of that, you can relax. You can trust. You can allow life to unfold without pressure. You do not need to keep checking. You do not need to keep wondering. Just return to that soft knowing whenever you remember. Let it feel simple. Let it feel calm. The more natural it becomes, the more your inner world begins to shift. And when your inner world shifts, your outer life follows in its own time. So move through your day with that quiet confidence. Let your thoughts be gentle. Let your feelings be steady. And trust that everything is aligning in ways you may not even see yet. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments and share it with someone who may need to hear this today. And don't forget to subscribe for more peaceful, powerful reminders like this.